You know him as a sports radio legend. And from here on Fox 13 Seattle. And now Ian Furness is partnering with Georgetown Brewing once again for an IPA that helps several different organizations.
That's right. Joining us this morning to talk all about it, Ian Furness from Sports Radio KJR and Fox 13 Sports, and Brandon Huffman from the Avery Huffman Foundation. Hi.
Hello.
Thanks for being here. Tell us all about this beer.
Well, I mean, first of all, it's weird to be here. I thought I'm used to doing the news here, so I'm kind of trying to get my bearings with me. But
Yeah.
you know, back in 2020 when we had the pandemic, it was, we were in a tough situation, and I've had a golf tournament for about a dozen years to raise money for different charities I feel comfortable with and really feel strong about. And in 2020, no golf. And Georgetown is an incredible part of the community. They've given over $1 million plus just to Children's Hospital, as Bender Wells knows, with their Bob's Brown Ale every year. And we came back and we said, how can we do something to help? They approached me. There's no golf tournament. They said, let's brew a beer. And so there we are, and that was 4 years ago, and an award-winning beer later, here we are with Mayor #4, so it's fun.
We brought the certificate to prove it.
Yes, when I say, we always joke, and Bender knows this in radio, we have an award-winning show, or award-winning this, and
It actually
did win an award. Matt Edwards is the great brewer at Georgetown, the man that made Bodie's Offa, and in 2021, it won a Washington Beer Bronze Medal. So it's an award-winning beer. I can honestly say that. I had nothing to do with brewing it, by the way, outside of telling them what I like, but yeah, it's an award-winning beer.
I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway for those that don't know. Why is it called the Mayor?
So years ago on the radio, somebody said to me, like, hey, you're like the mayor of Maple Valley, and it just stuck. And at the time, the mayor, I think it was Laura Idings, was like, she's upset about that.
Stop it.
And so it's weird in sports radio when someone's upset about something, you just take it and run with it even more, as you well know. So it's just, I've been nicknamed the mayor of Maple Valley, and so the Mayor Golf Tournament is what the golf tournament's called, the Mayor of Maple Valley Open, and so it's the Mayor beer.
That's fantastic. And I love the fact that you just embellished on top of it. That's great.
Wonderful. Well, let's talk about the charities that this beer helps.
So it's basically 3 charities. I started with a couple others, and the golf tournament was really small, but what ended up happening is in 2018, I met the Holinsky family, and we did a story on Fox 13. I sat down with Kim Holinsky and her son Kelly after Tyler had committed suicide at Washington State University, and really an emotional interview. We sat down with her at a park in Bellevue. Ran it on the news, did a 2-part series on it. And Kim Holinsky, at one point in the interview, she points to me and she says, we're all going to do something. And she points right at me. And I've never had this doing an interview, and I'm used to doing sports. And so it's a little bit different. And she says, you're going to do something, we're going to do something, we're all going to do something. And I said, well, what can I do? Well, I'm going to add it to the golf tournament. And so I added the Holinsky Hopes Foundation, mental health big. My son plays college football. I understand the pressure those kids are under. And then on top of that, we'd already worked with Avery, and we'll talk about Avery and the Huffman Foundation in a second. And then in addition to that, Jordan Morris Foundation became a really big deal for our family. My son was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in 2019. He's a student athlete, and Jordan Morris, you can see here, this is a story we actually did on Fox 13 2 years ago on Jordan Morris's foundation. He runs a soccer camp, which is coming up this weekend, meets with a child after every game, home and away, did so last weekend in Minnesota, that has type 1 diabetes. He met with my son. They didn't know who I was in the sense of like, oh, you're not moving. They just said, hey, are you an athlete? Yes, I am. Met with Jordan Morris. Jordan Morris made an incredible difference for him. Got him inspired to put his weight back on, gain weight, and play football. And so those 3 foundations, very grassroots, and that's why those 3 mean so much to me, and that's why we do the beer and do the golf tournament.
And successfully at that.
Yep.
And you brought Brandon Huffman from the Avery Huffman Foundation with you. Brandon, so you got to tell us about the foundation from your vantage point.
Sure. So we established the Avery Huffman DIPG Foundation in 2016, shortly after our daughter Avery, my wife and Amanda and I. In 2015, she was diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor, terminal upon diagnosis, and she fought it for 7.5 months as bravely as you can. 7 years old, she passed away in February of 2016. So 3 months later, we started the Avery Huffman DIPG Foundation to raise funds, raise awareness for researchers around the world to try to find a cure for this terminal brain cancer. And in May of this year, we went over the $1 million mark raised since 2016. Wow. One of our biggest supports is at Seattle Children's Hospital. There's a prominent lab worldwide, one of the most worldwide renowned labs treating DIPG, diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma. It's a horrible disease, but we decided that because she fought so faithfully and so bravely every day, we fight back in her honor. We wake up every morning and she'd have a list of things that she wanted to accomplish, and our thing was, if she can get up every morning fighting this, what's our excuse? So we established a foundation. Ian came alongside us from the very beginning of her diagnosis and all the way through. The first golf tournament we were part of was shortly after she passed away, and he's been an incredible support to our foundation since its inception.
Yeah, what a wonderful partnership. What does it mean to you? I mean, to have the beer support this foundation.
Oh, I mean, it's incredible because, you know, who doesn't love Georgetown beer? I mean, I was always a Manny's guy. In fact, I've been doing Ian's radio show for, 15, 20 years, talking recruiting, and every National Signing Day I'd have a Manny. So when Georgetown was at that first golf tournament I was a part of, I had Manny serving me a Manny's. It was wonderful. Then a few years later, he said, hey, you know what? We're going to do this beer called the Mayor. I'm like, oh, I got to have a Georgetown beer, and Avery's name's going to be plastered all over the brewery, and I got to tell people to drink this beer and, you know, support this foundation. It was pretty much the perfect marriage there, if you ask.
That's got to be having to live through something that no parent should have to live through. But you have to be awfully proud of what you've been able to pull off to this point. So congratulations on that. Do you, to take it to more of the lighter side, Ian, did you have anything to do with the taste of the beer?
Well, I didn't brew it, obviously. That has to do with chemistry and things like that, which I dropped in high school and college. Matt Edwards is the brewer. They've got an incredibly talented staff down there. But when they said, let's do the beer, they said, you know, what do you want? Like, what do you like? And I said, I like an IPA, but I want something that's drinkable for everybody, really hazy. And they came up with this. I know we're going to taste it. It's sensational. Like, and it's one of those beers that you have people, and they get asked all the time, hey, are you going to put it in cans? Are you going to buy it? It's a limited release. It's out for a couple weeks. You got to get it when you can. But I told them, and they know what I like because I'm there a lot.
We know what he likes. Bottle it.
And they, you know, but Georgetown's great. They again, I can't say enough about them and what they do in the community. And they're the best brewery on the West Coast, if not the country. And so I'm just thrilled to be partnered with them. I call many of them friends: Manny, Roger, Matt, and Crystal, and Dave, and Peter, the whole group down there. They're just incredible supporters. And I mean, listen, I'm sitting next to a guy that raises millions of dollars for children's hospitals, so you understand what we're doing here, because it's about those foundations for young people. Jordan Morris is heavily involved at Children's Hospital, you know, and they do a lot of different things there. Obviously, what Children's does there too, with the research for DIPG. So if we can make a beer to raise money for small foundations that every dollar means something, that's a win all the way around. And oh, by the way, the beer's great.
Absolutely. Before we try the beer, I mean, talk more about how you chose the charities that you wanted to get involved.
Just the biggest thing is I wanted something that was grassroots. I wanted something that meant something to me, but also that you know, for a while I was doing something for another charity, and they didn't care. It was like, it was a drop in the bucket for them. Brandon was personal for me because I knew the struggle he went through with Avery. Jordan Morris, because my son's got type 1 diabetes and the difference he made, and just the difference I saw at the Children's when someone is sick and what they do. And then the Helinski's Hope, like I said, when I met Kim, it was probably the hardest interview I've ever done in my career. Certainly not like talking to a Seahawk after a game. And I said, what can I do? And it was easy. It was an easy thing. We're going to help raise money for it and help raise awareness. And we've become very good friends with everybody involved. And so that's why we are where we are.
That's okay.
Cheers
as we go to do this,
yes.
Raise a glass.
Yes.
Brandon, if I may, I know the inspiration, again, from a family that had to go through what you went through was just unconscionable. And for Ian to use your platform to do what it is you do is really commendable. So cheers. Cheers to you guys.
Cheers to you guys.
Here we go.
We're gonna turn Carly into a beer drinker. Is what we're gonna do.
It smells really good too. Very like citrusy.
Citrus. It's got 4 different hops, all from the Yakima Valley. They don't use fruit in their beers. A lot of breweries do. This is all a natural citrus. You can taste the citrus in it.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, you know, I mean, it's a great Labor Day weekend beer. Go get some this weekend because it's only going to be available probably. We'll usually run out in about 2 weeks.
That's from the mayor right there. Go
from
get
the
it.
Mayor of Maple Valley. Ian Furness, Brandon Huffman, thank you so much for coming in and sharing your story and this awesome beer. We appreciate you.
Hey, you know, nothing better than a beer in the morning, right?
You know it. You can get the Mayor IPA at Georgetown Brewing, like they said.
Still ahead, we're learning to make some mushroom pizza with Jackson Street Pizza Lounge.
That's right. But first, we're giving you a look at the local organization that's helping families who have children with cancer.